a dramatic end to that game. What are your emotions at the end of that?
I think the dressing room as a group were bitterly disappointed. I felt when the first goal went in, we've certainly conceded in quick succession. I looked at the body language, it took us long to get up, and we looked deflated after the first goal. And I think the players are very disappointed. If I could have made probably 6 changes just by looking at their body language, I probably would have. But with the goals going in quick succession, I think the players have got to take responsibility about the way we certainly should have managed that game better.
You've spoken this season about seeing games out because you've had 1-goal leads that have let slip very late on, but at a 3-0 up, it really shouldn't happen, should it? It
shouldn't, and I think 3-0 up, you're almost over-celebrating. I thought, we still could have scored 2 goals after that. But when that first goal went in, certainly some of our players have not talked about the experience of playing in a derby all week, and some of them have not been involved in that. And I said to Bevis Mugabe, who done an interview this week, saying it'll be a good experience, and I'm saying it'll only be a good experience if we win. So they've experienced that now, and what I have to do as a manager is obviously go back over those goals and make sure that we do our best to make sure that don't happen again.
You spoke about the first goal, the David Wheeler goal, and how deflated they looked. Could you quite believe what unfolded in front of your eyes in the next 4 minutes?
I look at it and, they're bringing on Ruben Reid. Wheeler comes on. So the additions that they make with the squads that these teams have got, I understand there to be a reaction, and that's what Ruben can do. And but you've got to be strong enough and resilient enough, and also show enough knowledge that being 3-0 up, and even if 1 goal goes in, you've got to be able to take care of that. And obviously, quite clearly, we didn't. But having said that, if we scored 3 goals. And unfortunately on this occasion, where we've been very strong in previous games, we concede 3. So trying to find the balance and trying to find where we are this season, I have to say it has been frustrating. And I think if we started this journey all over again with the same players next season, have they developed? Would they learn from the mistakes that we've made? I think in a derby you've got to allow for mistakes, but not mistakes like we did in the space of 5 minutes.
Is there anything you can do as a manager from the sideline, or do you feel helpless when that's going on?
Well, we made the subs, and and also as well I was still running with 3 up front, and as I said, 3-0 up. You're thinking with Jean's chance, it could have been 4, it could have been 5, and. But for it to happen and develop like that, I'm very disappointed. The players are disappointed, but they have to take responsibility in how they manage the game.
You've spoken a lot in the last couple of weeks about players' futures, decisions to be made for next season. Well, what happened in that period of the game and the reactions you saw, will that influence the decisions you make?
I don't think you can, make those decisions on just that game. I've made decisions in my mind over the course of a season. I'm going to be speaking to the players next week as to the standards that they've set as themselves, as individuals and human beings, and I've got to treat everyone fairly, and that's one thing that I have done as a manager. Am I frustrated as to, do I think with the 16 draws that we had now? Yeah, that disappoints me, and unfortunately with the group that we've got, you want them to have that winning feeling more often, and I didn't want to just be in a position where we're just surviving this year. I wanted to be a group, can I push them every day? It's not for the lack of trying, but that there was the lack of knowledge and experience of playing in a derby. You could see their crowd got real behind them, and they brought on players that affect the game, and when you look at that in the balance, you have to manage it. And with it being so quick, always, I have to question myself as far as the subs are concerned. But I could have made 6 changes after that goal went in, and that was just looking at the body language. And can you affect that in a short space of time? No, because it put us 3-0 up. So you think the players are going to be clever enough to be able to deal with that.
Thanks for your time tonight. Thanks, Darren.
No probs.
Darren, do you have any messages for the fans after that? It was a large travelling support today, probably the largest of the season. Anything you want to say to them?
I think the support that we've had over the course of the season for where we are as a football club, which has been frustrating at times, and having certainly 16 draws now, I have to say their commitment's been very, very good. All I can ask is I'm making sure every week with players out of contract that this group don't switch off. And there's been teams that have come to Exeter that have struggled to get the ball down and play, and I thought certainly that second half performance we had large spells of the game. Unfortunately, we didn't manage the last 5 minutes, and I have to make sure I address that and understand as to why that happened.